Hi, welcome to Finance Unlocked for Nonprofits video series. We're here to talk about balance sheets. So Erin, you're the CPA. What's going on here?
So the balance sheet is a basic financial statement that every board member should be getting. And to make this one even more confusing, it has two names. So it's called the balance sheet, but in the nonprofit sector, it's also called the statement of financial position.
Okay, that's confusing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Same exact piece of paper. So the balance sheet is a snapshot. At a moment in time, what do we have?
Got it. So it's kind of like a selfie for your financial status.
Exactly.
Got it.
So there are rules to the organization of the balance sheet that make it pretty easy to compare between one organization and another. So at the top, always assets, what you own. And the organization of the assets is all about liquidity. And liquidity is really just a fancy word for how quickly you can access your assets.
So if I want to buy a sandwich right now, that money's right at the top.
That cash is going to float right up to the top. That's your most liquid thing. Cash and cash equivalents, if you see that on your balance sheet, that just means you can access it in 3 months.
Okay.
Other assets are going to be things people owe to you, receivables. Current assets are just things that you can get your hands on within a year. So again, it's all about that idea of how quickly we can get our hands on things.
Got it. So if I want to buy a sandwich later, that's stuff that's lower.
Right, down in more longer term assets.
Got it.
So the next chunk of the balance sheet is liabilities. So what you owe, and that's always at the bottom.
So if I owe someone a sandwich, that's going to be in the lower part.
Right, things like
Got it.
accounts payable, things we owe to vendors, things called accrued liabilities, tends to be things we owe to our employees. But again, debt, all things we owe to others down there at the bottom.
Okay, so bottom line is, I get handed this balance sheet. What am I supposed to be looking for?
Perfect. Paying attention to current assets and the relationship between that and current liabilities. So in the next year, current assets is what we've got, current liabilities is what we're going to have to pay. So if that piece we have to pay starts getting close to the assets, we need to be asking questions and figuring out what our plan is.
Got it. Or if it has a little line that says, ask my accountant.
That would be a great board question.
Got it. Okay.
So reserves, that's another thing to think about and ask questions about at the board level. Do we have reserve targets? Do we have a policy? Are we meeting our reserves?
You mean savings?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Got
right. Is there anything that just looks weird? Is there anything that I didn't expect, something new, something that I've never seen before? Again, a great place to ask a question. Debt, is any debt that you all have meeting your expectations? If a line of credit or debt shows up and you didn't even know as a board member you had a line of credit or debt, again, let's ask that question at the board meeting. Do you have enough access to capital or cash to cover emergencies or programmatic opportunities? That's kind of something that you should really be thinking about all the time as a board member as you're reviewing the balance sheet.
Great. So bottom line, I get handed this, and this is going to be a statement that says whether or not I could buy a sandwich now, whether or not I could buy one in like 3 months or a year, and then who I owe a sandwich to, right?
Yeah.
Great.
You got it.
There we go.
Perfect.
So since it is a balance sheet, I think we should take our selfie right now.
Perfect.
Are you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
There we go.